Welcome, everyone. We're so excited that you took a little time out of your day and your busy schedules this time of year to join us for this short and sweet workshop on liver health. So today we're going to be chatting a little bit about the role that the liver plays in the body and also how that impacts the health of your hormones. So I am going to have us jump right in and I'm going to introduce you to my good friend, Jamie Pfeiffer. She is a nutritional practitioner. She is a certified health coach. She is an expert in all things body systems, gut, and hormones. So Jamie, do you want to take it away?
Sure, I would love to because anybody who knows me knows I really like to talk about the liver. I feel like we started with gut health, then the awareness of hormone support and hormonal health came about. And now, as a byproduct, we're discussing how the liver affects that and why it is crucial for it to be supported in all ways with nutrient dense diet and a lot of things that Kaylee is going to talk about. So, if we think about the liver in terms of everything running downstream from the liver, so when our liver health is stronger, you're going to see improvements in gut health, immune health, energy, your skin. Think about our skin as an outward sign of something dysregulated in our body. But what we see in the medical community, or a lot of times, is when we're trying to treat one of those other areas that is a resulting cause of some kind of dysfunction in the liver, whether we're treating it with medication or additional supplements, we're actually taxing the liver more. So we might be band-aiding that outward result, but we have to look back at the root cause of how can we support the liver. So I say a lot that the liver is the most important organ in the body. And you might go, oh, no, it's the heart. Okay, yes, maybe they're equal, but I love the liver. And I think it needs more attention. So I talk a lot about, like I just mentioned, we think we're doing all these things right to aid our other body processes or liver, but a lot of times we're either over supplementing, we're using inactive supplements that are actually taxing our liver more because the awareness just isn't out there of maybe a form of magnesium that is not active, a form of B12 that is not active, a form of folic acid, folate that is not active. So we're doing things to our body to try to fix it, and we're just causing it to have to metabolize more things. So when we look at this, what does the liver do? You can clearly see that it has a very, very big job. I think we think of it as detoxification, but it also is crucial in metabolizing our carbs. So when we think of blood sugar, it is converting, oops, can you go back a sec, Kaylee? It is converting the glucose into glycogen for storage. So we're taking that glucose that we're ingesting through food, it's converting that into glycogen, regulating our sugar levels. It's breaking down fats, producing energy, breaking down protein, processes all of those amino acids that we're trying to take in. You know, and we always hear protein, protein, protein. Well, our liver has to be ready to break those proteins down so we can utilize them. It's producing bile to help us digest and absorb fats. That's another thing I love to go on a tangent about is like acid and bile are not bad. We need acid in our stomach and bile to break down so we can truly, truly absorb all these nutrients that we're ingesting. Nutrient storage, blood clotting, immune function, that is huge, cholesterol regulation. And we all love to talk about hormones. This is where it comes into play with hormone regulation because it's breaking down and regulating that insulin. So going back to metabolizing and converting that glucose, the estrogen and the cortisol. So all these big things, see how big of a job it has? Like I say, it has a major, major job. And when we're taxing it with toxic load, like Kaylee is going to talk about, too many supplements, medication from doctors, a lot of medications out there, we're stressing it. And we need to find ways to support it. So let's go through some of those detoxification filters. Again, like I said, we're filtering out toxins and chemicals, the heavy metals that are coming at us through our products, through our food, even, you know, some of the vegetables we think are great loaded with the heavy metals. It's helping regulate our hormone levels, cholesterol and fat, metabolic waste products, nutrients and proteins. So just an overview kind of that first slide to show you again what a big job it has. Now, talking about detox pathways, this is very, very important when I work with a client. just in my own life, I have a vibration plate right here in the kitchen. But again, like we said, everything stems downstream from the liver. So all of these detox pathways are supported when we support the liver. But in the same respect, when we support the lymphatic system, we're supporting the liver, thereby supporting the kidneys. So Kaylee's going to go into more ways that we can truly help the system. But I just wanted to show you guys, if you're going to get one thing from this call, it's to honor these detox pathways, take a screenshot. And I want you guys to read after this, the text that's underneath them and why each of these is so important. Lymphatic system, our skin, because our skin is outwardly showing us if something is going wrong on the inside. Our digestive system, we have to be going to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day so we don't build up an estrogen and become estrogen dominant. You know, we have to be supporting the kidneys with electrolytes. So they're flushing the water. We're getting the correct amount of blood flow through our body. So that is just a few things. And now Kaylee is going to go through all the more in-depth ways that we can support our liver.
Okay. That, gave you guys a really strong overview of the role of the liver. And, as a certified holistic health coach, someone who's been practicing for over 16 years, I have been specializing in gut and hormone health, but I've also been on my own journey. I work a lot with women, mostly in perimenopause and menopause, but also frequently women who are struggling with autoimmune conditions. And so for those of you who don't know my personal story, my journey to become a health coach, like 16, 17, 18 years ago, started with my own health journey. And in the first 5 years of being a health coach, I went through a serious trauma in my life. And after that trauma, I kept seeing doctor after doctor after doctor because I couldn't stay well. Everything felt wrong. My periods were absolutely irregular and completely chaotic. I had horrible cramping, terrible brain fog, gas, bloating, like serious digestive issues, upset stomach every time I ate. I had really incredibly sensitive skin. I was reactive to everything. I didn't have acne. I don't even know if I would say I had eczema, but I constantly had what they called contact dermatitis. Like everything I came into contact with gave me a rash on my body. Sleeping on sheets, at like my mom's house that were washed with a different detergent. I had to rotate my deodorant because I would become sensitive to things over and over and over again. I had insane allergies. I was on like multiple allergy medications. I had chronic anxiety. And what they finally diagnosed me with after going to doctor after doctor after doctor, I went and had this upper body scan done. And they told me after that I had what they called a boggy liver. And when we looked at my lifestyle as a health coach, I actually was doing most of the things that I'm going to talk to you about that would support a healthy liver. But the one piece that I want to bring to attention here that also plays a role is nervous system and emotions. And so we're going to get more into that a little bit later in this call. And we're going to talk to you a little bit more about some ways we can support you with that as well. But it was the emotional trauma. My liver had to detox all that cortisol. My liver had to detox all that stress. And so I had to get even more intentional with some of these activities that I'm going to teach you about while I worked on learning tools to regulate my nervous system, while I worked on healing that trauma. And so there are a lot of things that impact your liver, and it plays such a huge role in the body. So like I said, some of the signs that your liver needs support, you'll see issues with allergies, you'll see issues with your skin, dark circles or bags underneath your eyes. Sometimes you may have heard on social media, one of the new trends is cortisol face. When women have like that really puffy, round, swollen face, that can be another sign that your liver is taxed. Weight loss resistance, any kind of digestive issues, and hormonal issues. So the things that we need to work on in order to support our liver. And this is where I start almost every single private client with, whether we're dealing with autoimmune conditions, perimenopause and menopause, or just general wellness, because everything else that you're going to do on your health journey The degree to which it will be effective is going to be dependent upon your toxic load and how efficiently your liver is working. So you could do everything right with your nutrition, but if your liver is still taxed from past lifestyle choices or from toxins that are coming in, then you're only going to feel this much improvement. But when you get your liver supported and you start to help it to do its job of detoxing your body, suddenly that same exact nutrition will elevate your results 10x. So reducing your toxic load, what does that look like? So, that slide got moved out of place. Your toxic load is the amount of toxins that are accumulated in your body and the threshold of what your body can handle. And this is going to be unique for everyone, but think about it like a bucket or a sink. It has a certain capacity. Our bodies are designed with detoxification systems. They have a certain capacity that they can manage at a time. But in this toxic world that we live in, we are having toxins come in faster than our bodies can move them out. So we're going to talk about some ways that you can speed up the process of moving those things out, make it more efficient, help heal the liver. But also, one of the fastest, easiest ways to start to support your liver is to reduce the number of toxins that are coming in. And we've actually seen in recent studies that by changing just one product like your deodorant or your shampoo, which can be one of the most toxic things that we use every single day in the shower, women will see a decrease of over 70% in just 28 days of breast cancer markers in their breast tissue. So by swapping one product, reducing the amount of toxins coming in, you can make a dramatic improvement in your health in just 28 days. So you're lowering that toxic load. So I'm going to go back here. So reducing your toxic load is the first thing. It's simple product swaps. So start to look at the products that you're using every day on in and around your body. As something runs out, just look for a cleaner swap. And that's one thing that we can, help support you guys with. The second is supporting your lymphatic system. So Jamie talked a little bit about the lymphatic system. It helps the liver to do its job. So your lymphatic system is it's running through your fascia, which is like, if you think about, you've got your bones and you've got your muscle, and then there's like this mesh that's completely wrapped around your whole body. It's almost like a second skeleton, but it's like a mesh lining. And your lymphatic system is running through that. And unlike your heart, which is the pump for your blood, the lymphatic system has no pump. So we have to support it. So you can tell that your lymphatic system might be backed up if you have lots of muscle tension and soreness, lots of knots, joint pain, headaches, brain fog. You might have swollen lymph nodes in your neck, in your armpits, in your groin, lack of energy, recurrent sore throats, or lots of phlegm and mucus because things can't drain through these major lymph node areas here. Your ears might pop or ring, frequent colds and infections because your body can't flush those things out, but also constipation, sluggish bowel function, inability to lose weight. So these things are all connected. Sore breast tissue is a big one. And that's also a sign of estrogen dominance. So that will kind of pool in the lymph nodes in this area. And so if around the time before your period, you get really swollen, tender breasts or painful to touch, it's a sign of estrogen dominance. It's also a sign that your lymphatic system is not moving the way you need it to be moved. So one of the main things you can do, you can look this up on YouTube, just Google Big 6 lymph massage. It's super easy. It takes about 3 minutes. But you can screenshot this. These are the areas in your body that have major lymph nodes, and just a simple massage of these areas, just massaging them and then tapping them, can be really helpful to stimulate the flow of lymphatic fluid. You can also rebound. You can also go on a vibration plate, like Jamie mentioned. You can simply bounce on the balls of your feet while you brush your teeth every morning. And that's going to activate and kind of shake out and get all that lymphatic fluid moving. that's going to help your body to detox. You'll notice if you start doing that daily, you will start to have more regular and more efficient bowel movements. So some other ways that we can optimize the liver are movement and a nutrient-dense diet. So, when we think about things like this, we often think like, what's prescriptive? What is the ideal type of exercise to do for my liver and my lymphatic system? And the ideal type is the type that you will do consistently. So that might be for you just walking every day. That could mean a 30-minute walk. It could mean a 10-minute walk after breakfast and dinner. Whatever fits into your day. It could mean investing in a walking pad that you can have at your desk, even if you're taking it into your office so you can walk while you're on conference calls. It can mean yoga, and it can mean stretching, mobility work. It could also mean a Pilates class or a heavy weightlifting class. It's whatever you enjoy and fits into your schedule consistently. Now, when it comes to a nutrient-dense diet, that can also look like a lot of things, but I think our collective number one tip is put plants on your plate at every meal. And that's going to start to move you in the right direction, because when you put plants on your plate at every meal, number one, you're going to give your body the fiber that it needs. So like a minimum goal to aim for would be 25 grams of fiber a day. What might that look like? Well, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds is about 10 grams of fiber. A cup of cooked quinoa is about 5 grams of fiber. Lentils, 1 cup of lentils would be about 15 grams of fiber. A cup of steamed broccoli is about 4 grams of fiber. So, maybe there's about 10 grams of fiber in a big handful of just dark leafy greens. So anything like that, if you're adding, a handful, a cup of veggies, lentils, legumes to each meal each day, that's 3 times a day, you're probably going to hit that fiber target. Fiber works with the bile from our liver to bind up toxins so that they can be excreted with our bowel movements. So here's what's interesting about the way the liver works. It binds up all these toxins, and they're meant to be excreted through our bowel movements. But number one, if we're not properly hydrated, we might not be having regular bowel movements. But number two, 95% of the time, the toxins and that bile end up getting reabsorbed into the intestines and recirculated. And your liver has to detox them twice because we don't have enough fiber in our body to help bind it up to come out through a bowel movement. So putting plants on your plate at every meal will increase your nutrient density. It will improve your gut health. It will improve your bowel movements, and it will improve your detoxification. What is another thing that can really help with that? Glutathione. It's your body's master antioxidant. We all have it naturally, but it decreases as we age. So if there was going to be a supplement that would be supportive of that process, glutathione works with the bile from your liver to bind up environmental toxins so they actually come out in our bowel movements instead of getting reabsorbed in our intestines and taxing our liver a second time. Those tips that I just gave you, they also are supporting your digestive system. Fiber first, the number one predictor of gut health is diversity of plants. So if you're having fiber first, putting plants on your plate at every meal, you're going to be supporting your digestive system. Glutathione will also help to support the digestive system. Adequate hydration, which, like Jamie mentioned, the kidneys you saw on the chart were part of that detoxification system. It's not just water. So when we say hydration, that means you need to be getting proper electrolytes, your magnesium, your potassium, and your sodium. That is what pulls the water into the kidneys. It pulls the water in to the cells so that everything can actually be working for you, and you're not just drinking water and peeing and drinking water and peeing to the point where you're actually end up dehydrating yourself even more because your mineral levels will be depleted. Okay, my slides were a little bit out of order, so I apologize for that. So the lifestyle tips that we talked about are things like walking, things like stretching, things like bouncing on the balls of your feet or doing the big 6 lymphatic massage. nutrient-dense diet, so reducing the preservatives and the food dyes that you're taking in through processed foods and trying to add a handful of plants to your plate at every meal. And then we talked about hydration and those electrolytes. So some of the supplements that I personally use and the girls use as well that I find incredibly helpful. So Jamie mentioned that we can have a tendency in today's world to over-supplement. And it's very easy because you get on social media and there's 9 million supplements out there that are being recommended for every little thing under the sun. But like Jamie said, everything is downstream of the liver. So when you get the liver health right, you might find you don't need that pill to treat your acne. When you get your liver health right, you might find that you suddenly don't require all that allergy medication. When you get your liver health right, suddenly you're not gassy and bloated and you don't need that pill that you're taking for your gut health. If you're going to supplement, it's like if you picture a triangle pyramid, your lifestyle choices and your nutrition are at the base and your supplements are at the very tip. It's just the icing on the cake. They should be minimal and they should be very intentional. So these are the supplements that I choose to use. I've personally been using them for the last, I think it's 18 months now, a year and a half. And so when I started this journey, I stopped all my other supplements because I was like, I want to see how these work on their own. So Hydrate and Detox has the electrolytes. It has your magnesium, your potassium, and your sodium at adequate levels for daily use that support not only hydration, but gentle daily detoxification. So no rushing to the bathroom, no like crazy headaches and breaking out in rashes because you're detoxing faster than your detox pathways can keep up with it. So you want it to be gentle and slow. It also has the pre and probiotics to support the digestive health, like we said, another key marker in supporting your detoxification and your liver. And it has glutathione, which I consider the hero ingredient in this little powerhouse packet. That master antioxidant that works with the bile from your liver to bind up those toxins so they can be excreted. And when you pair it with the AM supplement, this morning supplement, I actually ignored it first and I thought it was just like this fancy little bonus that came with it. And then one day someone asked me to explain the ingredients in it and I did a deep dive and I was like, okay, this isn't just about brain fog and energy. The reason this supplement supports your energy, the reason people tout their mental clarity when they start taking it is because this is a liver support supplement. It's loaded with milk thistle and turmeric curcumin with bioperine, which makes the curcumin more effective, ginger, coenzyme Q10, cranberry extract, vitamin D3. These are nutrients that literally help to repair and heal the liver, which is one of our fastest, most regenerative organs. So when you give it a little bit of love and attention, when you give it the nutrients that it needs, it will heal quickly. And then that PM supplement is a stress supplement. You can actually take it anytime. Like I say anytime after lunch to a couple hours before bed, because it is a stress support supplement. And remember my testimony that I shared, one of the big things that I had to get under control was my cortisol, my stress and those emotions, because the liver is responsible for helping to detox all of that. So it can take time to learn to manage the stress in our life. But a supplement like this PM supplement with L-theanine and lemon balm and very soothing herbs that help with that cortisol regulation, that help with that stress management can be incredibly helpful. And then while you're working on that nutrient density, while you're working on that nutrition, having a supplement like Triple Boost, which is very bioavailable, highly digestible, food-based protein sources with all of your essential amino acids, your B12 in a bioavailable form, and blue spirulina, which helps with binding up heavy metals so they can be detoxed when you go to the bathroom. So you're getting that nutritional powerhouse, but also that gentle detoxification. So these are the only supplements, in addition to cacao, but I won't talk about that because it's not really relevant to the liver, that I take on a daily basis. And in the wintertime, I add zinc and vitamin D3. Again, not really like liver supportive, but I'm just telling you, this is how minimal and intentional it can be. When you pair these with the lifestyle factors that we talked about today, you will start to see your liver healing week by week and your symptoms improving. And now I'm going to turn it over to Carly, and she is going to share a little of her personal testimony from this last year.
Hey everyone. Okay, hopefully you can hear me good. My name is Carly and I am an IVF mama of 2 little ones. I battled postpartum depression and anxiety with my kiddos, and that's kind of part of the way that I started on this journey. And this information that Kaylee and Jamie and Amy have shared is so golden, and it simplifies things so much, because I know when I started this journey through IVF, it felt very overwhelming to make simple changes or to start in one area of my home. And so I had to break it down piece by piece. And I started to incorporate a lot of what these women are sharing. And even as a holistic health coach, I still had stuff to learn. And I still had simple things that I could incorporate into my lifestyle with 2 little kids that were so helpful for my liver. And the big one that I'm just going to come out of the gate and talk about is alcohol. If you guys have followed me for a while, or if you know anything about me, I am, 354 days, who's counting, alcohol free. And I went into 2024, God, I'm going to cry, empowering myself to make a decision that was not only helpful for my nervous system and my hormones and my liver, like Kaylee said, the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. This was my starting point to truly healing and truly supporting those last puzzle pieces to my body. So I mentioned postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, battled with it a lot, and I turned to alcohol at night. So I was drinking wine nightly. I wasn't getting blackout drunk. I wasn't drinking and driving or any of that stuff. But through my experience with alcohol, I've also seen a lot of women who you wouldn't expect, business women, health coaches, moms, amazing women who also struggle with alcohol. It's been the hardest thing I've ever opened up about, but it was the healing that my body needed. It was that final piece to the puzzle after incorporating some of this stuff. So I'm not telling you to go alcohol free. I'm not telling you, I don't push this on anyone. It was such a personal, empowering decision for me to make. But I listed out all of the things that kind of came together when I made this empowering decision. I didn't make it out of like shame or, beating myself up. Alcohol, it's like Russian roulette. You can send 10 women to Target, each buy a bottle of wine, and someone's neuro makeup is going to handle alcohol differently, and it's going to affect their brain, their nervous system, their body, their liver, their hormones, all differently, right? And it was the hardest thing I have done, but it was the most empowering. I can't even begin to tell you guys how it feels sitting here. I was battling inflammation. The before and after picture of my face and my body is insane. Weight gain. I had to write all this down because I was like, God, I'm forgetting stuff. Weight gain and bloating. I would look down and all I would see was my belly. It was just maddening as a woman to feel that way. And then painful periods. I don't even know when my period's coming now. It comes like clockwork, but I have 0 cramps. And my skin, my before and after of my face, I had, like Kaylee talked about, my boobs would always get sore before my period. Just so many symptoms. I was like, this has to change. I can't live this way forever with 2 young kids. Digestion issues. I had back pain, severe back pain. I had a slip disc in my back. And alcohol inflames that. I'm telling you, everything that I did could be tied back to alcohol at the end of the day, because it was just ramping things up. And I know that there are some women who, just drink on the weekend and want to reevaluate their relationship with alcohol. And as scary and as hard as it is to like, well, how am I going to go to dinner? How am I going to go to a girls' night? What am I going to do on Christmas? We could talk about a whole nother call about that, but I went on a girls' trip with these women and stayed sober and had the time of my life. So when we're making a change or when we're doing something to support our health, it's going to come with pushback. So some of these lifestyle tips also might come with pushback. Maybe your area of struggle is something different, but having that foundational mindset of like empowering yourself to see how good you're going to feel, especially if you've got kiddos and you want to manage your mood. These little things are so important and they're so transformational. So a few other things. I'm actually like going to the bathroom either once a day or multiple times a day. That's because I supported my liver. I was estrogen dominant, went through IVF, had all this inflammation because I wasn't properly supporting my body. But then I was turning to alcohol every night to de-stress, to unwind, to manage my day, and to quote unquote sleep better. none of that worked. And can't believe I'm sitting on this call talking about it, because a year ago, this would not have been the case, you guys. I'm telling you. My mood, my mood changed so much when I started to support my liver. Happier, healthier, even getting more intimate with my husband, which was non-existent. And these ladies can attest to that. So my cortisol, my stress, I did the Dutch test. It just, so many things were so out of whack. And when I started with one foundational area, the hardest area, but the area that I knew that would empower myself to have that final piece to my puzzle for true healing, it was, okay, how am I going to walk into 2024? I'm going to be sober curious for a year. And so that was my goal, and we've made it. And now it's going to be my lifestyle, because I don't need alcohol anymore to manage my emotions, to manage motherhood, to manage my business. You know, there's a lot that comes up in healing. And, you know, if this isn't your area, that's okay. But I guarantee there's some other area that's your area. And the mindset tips and the shifts that came with this, you might bump up against too. So when I talk about alcohol, sometimes I talk about it in a broad sense, because your struggle might be something different, but it all coincides the same when it comes to healing and supporting our liver and supporting our detox pathways and opening that up. And so we can feel our best, so we can show up our best. And then I wrote down dark circles and cortisol face, because I definitely had those. And making this change and doing something that was really scary for me at first opened such transformation in my life in so many ways. And I think the best thing is like, I always want to teach my kids resilience and doing hard things. And to be able to tell them that, you know, I walked through this journey and I was able to do something really hard, but for healing and for motherhood has been incredible. So whatever your heart is, I invite you to lean into that. We're here to support you. We've got a group coming up that Amy's going to talk about. I'm here, and clearly I still can't talk about this without crying. So yeah, hopefully that helps you in whatever area you might be struggling with.
Thank you, Carly. I was going to do this, but I'm unmuted now, so I could actually say we love you so much. And it's been really special watching her tackle this over this past year. And what we know, the four of us, as we've leaned into this really, you know, all these different healthy habits, is that doing in community has made all the difference. So, you know, we like to share lifestyle tips. We like to educate. We like to share products that can be helpful. But we also, you know, here and there, not always, but once in a while, we'll put together something where we can come together as a community and really, you know, take this on together, take this on side by side. So the routine that Kaylee went over earlier, as far as those supplement slides, it's created by a company called Hugh and Grace. If you haven't met their products yet, they're absolutely incredible. They create products that help us support hormone health in a very clean way for products that go in, on, and around our body. Now, the one that we're going to highlight here today is the routine, and it's exactly the supplements that Kaylee went over in detail just a few minutes ago. And again, it's listing out all of the special, you know, benefits that you can experience when you start incorporating the routine on a regular basis. And what we're doing is we're having something to help you, because I know this time of year, it can be so easy to pour into everybody else and kind of think, I'll take care of me later. I'll take care of me later. But we want to encourage you to take care of you today. We want to encourage you to make the decision that this coming year, you're going to step into that empowered space, just like Carly did, in whatever way or shape or form that means for you. So this routine bundle is something that we'd love for you to try out. It has the prices here, and that includes the morning supplement, the Hydrate Detox, and the Marine Collagen. And with those three things, we created what we call the morning routine. We wake up, we enjoy these things first sip of the morning. And so that way it's something that we can create a habit out of, and that a lot of us have used to replace our coffee or move our coffee later back in the day, and start with a really nourishing, you know, boost to our liver and to the rest of our systems. You can either do this routine just with those three, you can add on the triple boost, or you could actually swap out the collagen for the triple boost. We all use all four, but that option is going to be left up to you as far as which one you want to choose. And for those of you, a little incentive for those of you who are ready, that you say, you know what, you're right. I am going to take care of myself. Maybe I'm going to start this next week when the product comes in, or maybe I'll wait till the group, a little bit later. I'd encourage you next week. But for those of you who are going to place an order today through Saturday, end of day Saturday, we're offering you the opportunity to do that and earn a raffle ticket into what was just launched today as a special Christmas surprise for me for the Advocate Network. Is we're launching hair care that is completely clean, non-toxic, and extremely effective. We got to try it out last fall and it was absolutely fantastic. And that'll be available to customers to purchase next year. But what we wanted to do was provide one of you who is ready to jump in on this, the opportunity to experience it, firsthand with us in the next coming weeks. So again, if you want to flip the slide, Kaylee, to the next one, you can purchase the routine or the vitality set, which is just the same thing as the routine, but the triple boost swapped out for the collagen. And when you do that between today and the 21st, you'll be entered in that raffle for the hair care. You're also going to then be able to join us in our January group. Now, our January group, you'll see it's called Dryish. We know not everybody is going to choose alcohol as the thing, but we're going to talk about alcohol. We're going to talk about it because it's a big piece of supporting our liver and really helping our systems detox properly. So we were calling it Dryish, Detox and Thrive. And we're doing that starting on January the 6th, and it's going to run through the end of the month. So yep, the holidays are coming. We know you probably, aren't ready to commit today, but you can go ahead and get that bundle, get your spot secured, and know that you're going to have a space to start in January 6th with a group of really incredible women giving you a lot more education, a lot of accountability, and a lot of really great resources for you to really thrive this year. So in specific, in the group, we're going to go over foundations of liver support. We've scratched the surface today, and I know all of this was such fascinating information, but we're going to go even deeper into the foundations of liver support. And I don't know about you, but this is something that I want to extend to my family. I want for them to be able to benefit from, what I'm learning here as well. Tips to reduce alcohol consumption to better support your liver, nutrition for liver support, including recipes, which is always my jam. I love cooking. I love creating nutrient dense meals that when I feed myself, when I feed the kids, I'm like, I know this is doing good for me. Daily detox habits. We'll probably be doing some of that lymphatic massage in there, hormone friendly mocktails, stress reduction and emotional detoxing, and how to support your liver beyond January. We're going to do it together as a group. And then this is really setting you up for a lifestyle. And that's always what we want to do here. We want to create things that are sustainable for you, that again, you can pass on to your family as just the way that we live in order to really elevate the way that we feel on a day-to-day basis. So in order to do that, you're going to reach out to whoever invited you to this call, ask them for their link for purchasing the routine or the Vitality Bundle. And in the notes in the description of this YouTube, you're going to see there's a form that you'll click on, you'll put your information, and so that way you can be entered in the raffle as long as you're purchasing by the 21st. And you can also be sent the link to join into the group for January. Now, of course, you can join the January group all the way through January the 5th. So if you're watching this on January 4th, you're still in time. You just missed the raffle, but you still have time to go ahead and join us for the group starting January 6th. So I just wanted to thank each of you girls who shared information here today. I wanted to thank each of you for joining us here today. It's really person by person that we create this movement of better health, of, living in a way that we feel good, that we're not just moving through the motions of life, but we're really, just vibrant and feeling really hopeful and excited for what's to come. So thank you for taking the time and investing here today with us. And thank you for joining us. Thank you in advance for joining us in January. We look forward to connecting with you more and seeing you there. Have a good day, everybody.